Baby beluga in the deep blue sea. You swim so wild and you swim so free. Heaven above and the sea below, and a little white whale on the go. Baby beluga, baby beluga. Is the water warm? Is your mama home with you? So happy, way down yonder where the dolphins play, where you dive and splash all day. Waves roll in and the waves roll out. See the water squirting out of your spout. Baby beluga, oh baby beluga. Sing your little song, sing for all your friends. We'd like to hear you when it's dark. You're home and fed, curl up snug in your water bed. Moon is shining and the stars are out. Good night, little whale, good night. Baby beluga, baby beluga. With tomorrow's sun, another day's begun. You'll soon be waking. Baby beluga in the deep blue sea. Swim so wild and you swim so free. Heaven above and the sea below, and a little white whale on the go. Little white whale on the go. Just a little white whale on the go.
Remember the sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away to night. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth, we are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, their histories too. Talk to them, listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind, remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people, and all people are you. Remember you are this universe, and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is, that life is. Remember.
world are taking to the streets as people have vacated them during this time. These pictures showcase the animals enjoying their freedom without people around. These mountain goats in Wales are enjoying the empty city streets. These deers were spotted wandering the streets of Nara, Japan. This peacock was seen roaming in Dubai. And my personal favorite, these ducks strolling down a boulevard in Adana, Turkey.
The coronavirus has closed access to national parks across the nation. At Yosemite, the peopleless parks have resulted in the return of the bears. Usually hanging out in the corners and shadows of the park, the bears, along with coyotes and bobcats, are now free to roam the park without human interaction. For the first time in over 400 years, the beaver population of the UK is healthy and thriving. Since beavers are a keystone species, their newfound success is also healing the surrounding ecosystem. The beavers' dens have controlled water flow and stopped flooding, allowing local plants and animals to thrive. The Devon Wildlife Trust, alongside many other wildlife foundations, has supported the health and expansion of this beaver colony by carefully reintroducing them into the ecosystem.
Something that I found that was super interesting was that turtles are actually back in Florida and they've been able to lay a bunch of their eggs because nobody's on the beaches. So because of the lockdown efforts all across Florida, a lot of the beaches have been closed, obviously, and leatherback turtles, which are known to be vulnerable to endangered, have actually been able to lay a bunch of their nests. Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission reported that they've seen almost 400,000 sea turtle nests along 845 miles of the state's coastline, which is super incredible. It might just help these turtles leave their endangered ranking and actually become safe. Something really cool that I want to share with you guys.
Coral reefs are like the rainforest of the sea, and they are extremely important to the ocean and human life, as 500 million people rely on reef fish for food. Coral reefs are home to 25% of all marine life, even though they only cover 0.1% of the ocean floor. Coral reefs have been around for millions of years and inhabit millions of species. This means these species have evolved to live on these reefs and need them to survive. Coral also controls and takes carbon dioxide from the water. Without coral reefs, the amount of CO2 in the ocean would affect the entire planet. Coral are sensitive creatures, and things like ocean acidification, ecotourism, overfishing, and warming temperatures of the water can kill them. However, there is hope. Coral Gardeners, a non-profit group based in Moorea, an island in French Polynesia, are working towards preserving coral reefs. The gardeners collect broken pieces of coral, regrow them in the coral nursery, and then plant them back on the reef. Laws are being passed to protect and revive coral reefs, and slowly they can recover with the help of environmentalists and scientists.
In Venice, a city full of tourists all year round, the famous canals have been much clearer for the first time forever, as well as locals were able to see fish swimming through them. While this is just a result of decreased boat activity from the settlement sitting at the bottom, it is not truly due to major decrease in water pollutions. The city's air quality has become immensely better, though.
An unintended side effect of this global pandemic is that air quality across the globe has increased significantly due to a decline in industry, air travel, and road traffic. Both China and Italy have shown significant drops in their nitrogen dioxide levels, averaging 50% lower than they were in 2019. Also, carbon dioxide levels are predicted to be lower than they have been in over a decade. If this decline continues, we may see the largest drop in global emissions since World War II. This clear air is affecting many communities worldwide. Many cities are noticing visible differences in the quality of the air around them. LA, for example, is seeing some of the clearest air of any major city, as opposed to the layer of smog that typically hovers upon the mountains. They're said to be experiencing their longest stretch of clean air since 1995.
Is that coming this Friday, we are actually going to be opening an invitation to the community for a virtual climate strike with Sina Wazer. Sina is a 15-year-old climate activist who attends UConn University, and she's been super involved with us lately. And she's invited us to a virtual climate strike with Sunrise, Connecticut. We'd love if anyone can join. It's at Friday, 3 p.m. Please feel free to join and talk about some of the lasting things that'll remain in place because of COVID and stuff like that. So we'd love if you guys can join.
This is a poem that Gemma and I wrote in apes class about the environment. Once upon a time, humans caused mass destruction. They did this by burning, fracking, and combustion. They released harmful gases into the sky. It started warming the earth and animals died. We fractured the earth, causing it lots of pain, and in the process released tons of methane. We cut down trees, releasing CO2, which caused a lack of oxygen, and our faces turned blue. The atmosphere trapped all of the sun's heat, and a lot of animals were facing defeat.
Rising temperatures warmed H2O, the glaciers were melting, and we lost lots of snow. People crowded the streets, shouting, "Hear our plea. This climate change crisis affects you and me." Then the government stepped in, brought our problems to an end. We started treating the earth with care, got all the bad things out of the air. The rivers and oceans were finally clean, and the whole outdoors was a sea of green.
Hello, everyone. This is a collection of haikus that I all compiled into one poem under the broader title of Stories from My Garden. 1. Petrichor. Under the rosebush the dandelion sings, tone unwavering. 2. Close encounters of a cul-de-sac kind. Neon Nikes pound cement to silence as I stare. Ahead lies a deer. 3. The fall of a colony. Above, boots threaten. Below, blades whiz as we try to run for our lives. 4. Watering plants at night. Silver streaks stream from cold hands while moonlight shimmies with the flowers' leaves.
Hello, it's Jean and Annie, and today we're going to be performing Waiting on the World to Change by John Mayer, so I hope you all enjoy.